What's happening, friends? Thank you for being here. It's time for the news.
Bobby's Big
Stories.
Here's what happens if you sleep less than 6 hours a night. Because research says, first of all, everybody's different, right? So this is if you sleep 6 hours or less, you're going to feel like this. There may be a superhero or two out there that needs 5. I doubt it, but that's the deal. Number 1, increased anxiety. Lack of sleep causes anxiety, and then anxiety can cause lack of sleep, so it's really hard to kick that cycle. Number 2, weakened immune system. I do find when I am getting really bad or a low amount of sleep, I do get sick more because your body needs that rest, that recharge. Loss of productivity, weight gain. Mostly because if your body's off on anything, you're wanting to fill it with things that probably aren't good. It's like, okay, I just need some sugar. I need to get that rush so I can get a little energy. Well, then it ends up not being good for you. You end up gaining weight. I mean, sleep is so important. Sleep and water, crazy. I mean, I'm trying to drink so much water, and I'm not doing the thing where I carry around a jug. But I feel like whatever's wrong with me, if it's something small, if I just drink a whole lot of water, it kind of puts me back on a track to at least give it a shot to feel better that day. And I don't even like water.
Are you sick of it?
I hate water. I need it. I love it for what it does for me. I hate water.
Yeah, we do need
It
it.
doesn't do anything.
It does a lot.
No, not for me
hydrates you.
personally. Like, I get it, and I try so hard. I'm just letting everybody know.
Yeah.
It ain't fun. I don't like drinking a whole lot of water. But I do, and then I got to pee all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do find that if I just, even if I'm sick, people say, drink your liquids. Sleep and water really are the two fundamental things that give us a shot to have a shot, But I didn't sleep wonderfully last night. I mean, I went home yesterday and I never take a nap. I slept for like 3 hours yesterday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, something's like off, and I don't know what it is. And then combine that with the Arkansas basketball game didn't start till 8 o'clock last night, which is very late, but they schedule it out because of TV purposes. And so I watched the game, and I get very into it, obviously. It's like the love of my life after Caitlin and my dogs. Maybe more than the dogs.
I was going to say.
And we play at 8, and it goes down into the last seconds of the game. And so so my anxiety is up, and and then we lose at the very end of the game.
Oh.
And so not only am my heart rate's up, then I'm disappointed, and I can't go to sleep for like an hour and a half, and I'm already tired. And then I go on the message boards.
Oh, no. Not the message
awful.
boards.
It's
Gotta
all,
go on there.
It's all making sense now. I don't know, 5 minutes ago during a break under your breath, I think you said something like, I want to murder somebody in cold blood.
Yeah, I said it doesn't matter who it is. I just feel like that.
Wow.
And I had no idea.
Hey, that worried
Wow.
me a little
Why
bit,
did
man.
he just say that to himself? It's not like you really mean it.
Yeah, of course not.
But I
Or
could
do
tell.
you?
I was like, what is going on? And now that I know this information,
I'm not in a bad mood.
It all makes sense.
But yesterday I slept for 3 hours, so something obviously is off there too. I don't know what it is, but feeling good like I should,
Oh, like I should.
Absolutely. The Julie Chrisley, she's been reassigned from a Florida prison to a federal medical center. You see this, Lunchbox?
Yeah, and they don't say what is wrong, so she's in Kentucky, which is right up the road. So we got Florida and Kentucky. We're surrounded by the Chrisleys, and I don't know how long she's going to be there, if she's going to be there for her whole sentence or what.
Julie Chrisley will serve her prison time in Lexington, Kentucky.
Wow.
Following her conviction in a federal tax evasion case. She was scheduled to self-report to the Federal Medical Center in Lexington by noon on Tuesday, according to records filed in the La. She was originally slated to serve time in Marianna, about 2.5 hours away from Pensacola, where Todd Chrisley began serving his 12-year sentence on Tuesday afternoon. It's not clear why she was instead rerouted to the Kentucky facility.
Huh.
That's from Tallahassee.com.
Interesting.
I guess I didn't know medical prisons existed, but I guess it makes sense. Like, where do they go if they have, cancer?
I don't know.
Yeah, do they go to the normal hospital?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a good question, and I don't have the answer, so I'm moving on. But
Okay.
thanks for asking. Well, this is from Yahoo. A guy once featured on TLC's 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Married After, was arrested in Florida 6 months after earning a spot on the U.S. Marshals Most Wanted list. His name is Michael Anthony Baltimore, 44. He was taken into custody after he fled the scene of a bar fight, which is crazy. He would get into a bar fight when he's wanted, when he's one of the most
What an
wanted people.
idiot.
Yeah.
He's obviously an idiot or he wouldn't be on the list.
But still, if you're on the run for 6 months, you think, okay, I'm going to chill.
Lay low. Yeah.
And it goes and gets them. I mean,
But, guys, you don't plan a bar fight.
But you-
But you can plan to get out of one real
yeah,
quick.
you can just say, no,
Okay.
I'm good.
He He was placed on the U.S. Marshal Service 15 Most Wanted list for June for allegedly fatally shooting Pennsylvania barbershop owner Kendall Jerome Cook, who also appeared on the show in May of 2021. Dang. What happened on that show?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just crazy. He would do anything to get any attention if you're on the run from the law.
Hey, if you're a bad guy, you're just a bad guy.
Well, it's like if you're a dummy, you're a dummy. That's,
Okay,
you
that's
know?
it.
But some bad guys are not dumb.
Right. And there's,
I mean, he got away for 6 months. That's pretty good if you're on the 15
but then he does
most-
this.
Yeah, dummy.
He's a dummy. If you're calm and patient, you'll be healthier and skinnier. Impatient people are more likely to gain weight, a new study found. If you're on edge and in a hurry all the time, the tension needs some sort of outlet or tranquilizer, and food often becomes the solution. It's almost like when you don't get enough sleep. Food is what balances your hormones sometimes temporarily, because you're like, oh, I feel like I need to get a cookie or something. Only temporary. But patience is also key with healthy food. Fast food's the quick route, but cooking a well-balanced meal at home takes 5 times as long, but there's patience there,
Yeah.
but you will benefit weight-wise. So instead of trying to lose weight and be like, I'm just going to lose weight, try to be more patient with life, apparently, and the weight will just fall off.
That'd be nice.
That's stories from Weight Watchers. Etiquette experts say to never stay a week at somebody's house. To keep from losing friendships or straining relationships with family, it's important to set up boundaries for overnight stays. The ideal amount of time to stay is 3 days and 2 nights, which allows for the most enjoyment without either party feeling used.
Felt that.
Why, Eddie?
Oh, no,
Why,
I mean,
why would you
no,
say
no,
that
no, I'm
off
just-
mic?
I'm
Like,
just
what's
saying,
happened recently?
Over the holidays, we may have had some long stays, and that 3-day is definitely needed.
It becomes to the point where you're like, I just can't wait for them to leave, and that's your feeling of them once they're gone, that end part where you were tired of them,
Yeah, that's not
if they're
good.
staying with you.
I guess it depends who.
Nah.
Because there's people that I could take a week. I
week.
could take 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Ooh.
That's tough, unless you're doing your own thing some as well. I guess the problem is you have to entertain them the whole time. So if it's somebody who comes in and can entertain themselves,
Exactly.
for example, Caitlin's parents, when they come to town, they do their own thing. It's awesome. Like, I come do my thing, Caitlin's got her thing, and they do their thing, and then we kind of regather in the evening.
That's nice.
Like, that works because we don't feel like we have to babysit them the whole time. But if somebody stays 4 or 5 days and you're constantly having to go like, okay, I got to find something to do,
Yeah.
it's not even their fault.
Yeah.
It's just you're tired because you're having to figure out all this stuff to do, and you can't get back in your own schedule, in your own routine.
Yeah, and it's awkward if they're there and you go take a nap. It's like you feel like you have to stay awake. Oh, I hate that.
You know, interesting perspective,
Like,
but
that
that's
is-
accurate. If you want to go watch a TV show,
Yes.
Like
It
you-
is so frustrating. I'm like, oh, I guess I can't take a nap today because
Yeah.
they're still here.
I guess I'm surprised that bothers Lunchbox. He's normally not considerate of what other people might think.
Well, no,
But
because they want to go do things. And it's like, well, I can't nap. All right, well, cool.
but he also really loves naps. So,
Yeah.
well, this guy goes to a McDonald's drive-thru and he was handed a bag full of cash. All he ordered was a sausage McMuffin.
Oh.
His name's Josiah. He was about to dig into his fast food when he found wads of dollar bills in his plastic to-go bag. He had ordered the sausage McMuffin in the drive-thru, and he was like, there's a bunch of cash. And then he looked, there were all these Ziploc pouches. And
Hey.
so he put it on TikTok. He gave the money back, and they gave him $200 as a reward. It's from the Daily Mail. Now, if this would have happened with me, I would have thought it was some sort of drug deal.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that's
They were
why you
hand-
got to just drive off.
But I don't know that that was the case. Because it could have also been, listen, it might have been, but it could have also been they were putting the money somewhere to take it to
The bank,
bank.
like a manager.
like that would happen when I worked at Hobby Lobby, and they jumped him and killed him.
Oh my
I told you guys
goodness.
that story, right? When I worked at Hobby Lobby,
I don't remember
right
that
after
one.
I
Yeah, you
left,
did.
right after I left, the manager was walking out with the bag, and they jumped him in the back and killed him
I mean,
with the money.
hey, don't kill me. Just take it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there because but it was a bad one.
But
Dang,
also,
dude.
if you are putting money in a bag to go to the bank, like don't use a McDonald's bag. I mean,
Well, yes, unless you work at McDonald's and you
There
don't
are
want people to
bags
think.
everywhere.
Well, you don't want people to
Oh.
think that it's a money bag.
okay.
Right,
okay.
they would think,
All right,
I
oh,
just
you're
told you
taking
got
your
murdered.
food.
Okay.
I'd walk out with a bag that said, "This is not money."
Okay,
Not
good
a bag
point.
with a dollar sign on
Yeah,
it?
no, it's not a Monopoly bag. The story's from the Daily Mail, but it's $5,000.
Oh, man, I would have kept it.
I just don't think that's drug deal money when looking at it. It definitely could have been, and maybe the story. Mike, what do you think? Because I haven't seen the update this morning. I just saw this yesterday. I don't think it's drug deal money. I think it was money meant to go somewhere from the restaurant or, from the chain, whatever you want to call it. All right, next up. Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, will free the nipple. That's Lunchbox clapping.
What does that mean?
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram, they lift a ban on bare breasts because it impedes the right to expression, and they said, okay, it's not inclusive, so we're going to... So does that mean we just have topless people on
Yeah,
Instagram?
absolutely.
It is weird that guys can show their nipples and girls can't, though. Just fundamentally.
It is.
It is. And
I agree with
I'm
you.
also going to tell you why, because women's nipples are actually valuable and worth something. We should have to hide guys because they're worthless.
Which
They
is
are
like
pointless.
the value is milk. And I
Yeah.
think it's breastfeeding sometimes that gets flagged and people get very upset about that because it's like, wait, why would you block me because of this?
But this doesn't only count breastfeeding, right? This is all.
Yeah, it's all.
I don't
You just
know.
put them out there.
Wow.
I don't know even that that's
That
the
seems
case. I think
weird.
this is still this story is still like moving to a place.
Yeah.
But I do just saying on record, I think it's weird that we can show our nipples, same exact body part. We can show our nipples as guys and be like, look at me, I got no shirt on. And women have to put a shirt on because nipples are the same,
Yeah.
but yours actually do a job, and we're very thankful for it because if they didn't do that job, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, our kids couldn't eat.
Yeah, preach.
And all no, preaching for different reasons, like
Oh. I'm gonna get on Facebook more.
It's because of people like Lunchbox.
yeah. Anyway, there's that. I don't know where this ends up going or how they end up regulating it because I'm sure there's not going to be a bunch of naked people on there.
Whose job is that?
And I'm sure it's going to be inclusive to a lot of folks. But the headline says Meta will free the nipple. A woman screams that she hopes the plane she's being kicked out of crashes.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
A woman kicked off a Spirit Airlines flight in Las Vegas told the other passengers, I hope y'all crash and die.
What did they all do?
I got off.
There's been no official word on. I don't think they did anything. Yet.
Exactly.
I
They
think it was
didn't do
her
anything.
who probably did a little drinky if I'm just guessing. There's been no official word on why the woman and her male companion were escorted off the flight. And I'm not saying she was for sure drinking. I'm saying when we hear these stories, that's what it feels like usually. But a comment was made after she was right outside the door of the plane. Here is a clip. She sounds a little far away, but she yells it, and then you hear the reaction. Go ahead.
Oh, the pilots. Oh, the pilots.
The whole plane goes, oh, no, you didn't.
Okay, good.
I said to crash and die.
All right, that's the news. Thank you.
Those were Bobby's Big
Stories.
All right, you guys call us if you want. 877-77-BOBBY. Boy, something that has caused so many calls and people arguing and fighting has been the changing your name after you get divorced. So you get married. A lot of women take their husband's last name. Then if they get divorced, it's, do I keep the husband's last name or do I change it back to my original? Now, the understanding that I have is, if the kids have your last name, you keep it. I don't care who, his, hers. You want to keep the same name as your kid, so I don't think you should have to change it. Secondly, if it's your professional name and you're like, I want to keep it, or if you're just like, I'm lazy, I don't want to go through the process again, all good. You do not have to change it unless you feel the need to. So, man, we put up a poll, thousands of people. It was like 52-48. I don't even know who, but it was close on if you should change your last name when you get divorced. Here's Caitlin in Wichita, Kansas, who's on the phone. Just talking about this a little bit one more time. Caitlin, what do you want to say about that?
I just wanted to say that I kind of have the opposite situation going on. I'm still married. I married my husband in 2018, took his last name. Then we had our first boy in 2021, so he has his last name. And then some kind of unfortunate situations happened. We lost an older cousin, male cousin in 2021, and he didn't have children. The next year, we lost my older brother in a car accident. He didn't have children. And I kind of realized my maiden name might not get passed on, and that kind of upset me. So we're currently pregnant with baby boy number 2, due in May, and I changed my name back to my maiden name. And my plan is to name baby number 2 my maiden name and get it passed on. And so, yeah, I just thought it was a unique situation. I'm kind of set on it already, but what are your guys' thoughts?
I love it.
Wow, yeah.
And life is a unique situation. Like anytime there's a rule just generally presented as this is the rule, this is why we do it, and it's always been done like this. I hate those rules. I don't even care what it is. If the only reason it exists is because it's always existed, that's a bad reason for it to exist. So, listen, we considered me taking my wife's last name.
That's crazy.
You did.
But
You
we talked about every possibility because I said you do not have to take my last name if you would like to, and she wanted to, but you do not have to. And we talked about every possibility. So life is a unique experience and circumstance, and there's a reason why you're doing it, and that's important to you. So rock and roll all night and party every day is what I say.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because of that. I love it, actually. And so you do you. As long as you ain't hurting kids or animals, I'm down for it. So, Caitlin, I appreciate that story.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Have a good day. You guys are cool with that, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
Whatever you
guess,
want.
I would. If I was her husband, I would not want that.
What are you?
Like that she is going to take her name back.
But there's a reason, right?
No, I understand. There's always a reason, but there's a reason she took his
But
name.
that's
because
a big one. If she's like, I would like for my last name, for my family that's been here for hundreds of years to continue on that name, you wouldn't even.
No.
Okay.
It is unfair that you can lose a last name like that.
It's so dumb that women have to give theirs up.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. And I get called a feminist all the time. I'm a dude, right? Just so you guys know, I'm a dude.
Yeah.
I get called a
Sometimes.
feminist all the time because I'm talking about nipples and how it's not fair, and I talk about makeup and how come you, and I talk about it's unfair that you guys have to take our last names, and it's just because, well, our parents did it. Their grandparents.
Well, they don't have to. Then they don't have to get married. That's. I mean, if they don't want to take the last name, then
okay.
don't get married.
Oh,
It's that
wow.
easy.
no.
Speaking of name changes, this was interesting. Hey, Raymundo, so you have a friend that changed her name because maybe not of cancel culture, but because of the name being a bad, like Karen, right?
Yeah. So she came to our wedding. Her name, it was Nick and Karen, and then we meet up in Vegas, and she now goes by Kiki. And so I don't know if it's from this Drake song, but I mean, Kiki was pretty fun in Vegas, and there wasn't any weird like Karen jokes. I kind
So
of
is
like
that
Kiki.
why she's changed the name?
Oh yeah, I mean,
But
think
she hasn't
about
changed it officially. She just has people call her Kiki because if they're like, oh, Karen, ugh.
Well, and, yeah, the first 5 seconds of a conversation. Oh my gosh, Karen! And how can you ever complain about somebody? It's something they're gonna come at you like because you're a Karen. She's actually a really sweet lady. She's not a Karen. She's
So,
a Kiki.
It sounds like she's also more fun as Kiki.
Also, Kiki, that name to me, fair or not, sounds like the name assigned to people that are dancing on a
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
Or
I don't
with
know.
a bar.
I don't know a Kiki.
I don't either, but it's like,
But
if I ever
yes.
heard that name, it would be like, on stage 3, Kiki.
Yeah. With like a
And that's
hard rock song.
And that's unfair. She's my cherry pie. That's unfair to all Kikis out there. But I would understand not wanting to go by Karen because every conversation would be about the name Karen. It would be like if your name were Alexa.
Yeah.
Ooh, here we go.
And that's a name that real people have. And probably not as much anymore because you don't want to be named after that. But can you imagine if that's your name and you're 23?
Terrible.
Every conversation is going to be that. And you're going to be setting off everybody all around.
Their phones.
Constantly, yeah. And so, Ray, is she going by that just generally now?
With friends and family and stuff like that, yeah. But I mean, it's still on her birth certificate, Karen.
But that's okay. Nobody knows that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me grab a call here. I said if you need a kick in the pants, call me up. I'll give you one. And we'll continue to take these calls. But I want to put on, let's go, Brandy in Houston, Texas. Brandy, do you need a kick in the pants?
I do not. I actually need some advice.
Okay, well, you're on the phone. I figured that's what it was. Go ahead. I'm going to kick you in the pants anyway. Whatever she says here, I'm kicking her in the pants. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm 37. I've never been on a plane and never been out of the state of Texas. And in May, I'm going to Las Vegas. I'm so nervous. Wanted to know if y'all had any advice.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a kick in the pants here. Motivational.
This fits.
Yeah, it does fit. That's why I thought it was that. Yes. By the way, I will say this is someone who has to fly all the time and hates flying. I hate it with all my guts because it doesn't seem natural. I feel like the pilots get up there every single time and look at each other and go, I can't believe this happened. This worked again. I can't believe this massive chunk of metal got up again. Wow. That's what I feel like really happens up there. Like they're also in disbelief. Like, oh, well, Mike, we did it again. Who thought? So that being said, I also sometimes have to separate my irrational fears from the real world and know that, first of all, you can do the whole more car wrecks than plane crashes. And yes, there are more cars on the road, but they're talking about even percentage-wise. And you got a lot of idiots in cars. You're driving to work and you're trusting all those idiots to not swerve into your lane and hit you. And with pilots, that would be like a professional driver driving you to work. Like watching for other cars, knowing exactly. And also science. I just do that sometimes. Science. I don't really know how planes do. Science.
It's just blanket
Yeah.
statement.
I trust them for medicine. I trust science. I just get up there and I get scared and I go, well, science. So take it from me. I don't like it either, but you can look at the history of flight. You can look at this year in flight. There's almost zero commercial American flights that crash. And if they do, there's almost none that crash where there are a bunch of deaths.
I saw one that ran into one that was parked, but that was on the ground.
Yeah.
Think about how self-obsessed you would be to think that your plane is going to go down of all the planes.
Yeah, out of every single one out there.
Of every and I am self-obsessed. The show wouldn't be called this if I wasn't. So I'm going to tell you this, Brandy, it is absolutely fair to have that fear because I have it too. But sometimes you have to separate and pull the irrational out and go, I have the fear and here's why, but it isn't fair to have that fear because there's nothing that tells me I should. I'm usually only scared of things that I know exist and that other people have experienced or I've experienced in the past. I never experienced a plane crash. So, Brandy, the plane is not going to crash. You're going to get on there and feel tight. You're going to go, oh, I can't believe, but it happens all the time, every single day. It's like surgery. I go into surgery, I'm probably going to die. We got to get cut open. They do that crap all the time, every day. Cut you open, fix it, sew it back up.
And you're good.
Away we go. I'd rather get on a plane than surgery, and I trust surgery.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, you can do it, and it's okay to be scared, and welcome the nerves, and it's a new experience. Be grateful for that, but you're going to land, and you're going to have fun, and you're going to be nervous getting back on it again, and then you're going to land, and it's going to be great.
Does she sit by the window or the aisle?
I prefer sitting by the window because I feel like if we are crashing, I could jump out right when it's crashing and just be like, oh, okay, good, right before it hits the ground.
You mean by the exit row?
Yeah, I'd be like,
All
okay,
right.
like I'm getting close to the ground, jump out, okay, I land, and then it crashes. But that's also irrational.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Brandy, you got it, I promise you. If I can do it, you can do it. And remember, science. Just say that to yourself.
Science.
That's it. Have a good day, Brandy.
All right, thanks.
See, that's a kick in the pants. She didn't know she needed that, but I gave her that.
And she's going to Vegas, baby.
Yeah, have a good flight.
Have a good to have surgery. What if that it all comes
Science.
together? Jake Owen. This is his new single. It's really good. It's called Up There, Down Here, Bobby Bone Show.